Well, this is now episode two's narration, and so we know that Daenerys Stormborn Targaryen is on the sailing vessel that um, the new Lannis Kingdom's king had bought for her, the or not the Dothraki, but the Unsullied Warriors, and her handmaiden Missandei, and other knights that came with her, and the three dragons are flying all back towards Marine. In this episode now, it's Jon Snow's turn to be exiled to obscurity. As a forethought, because I probably didn't cover it in the last time, what I probably meant to say is, it'd be kind of interesting when I land in London. Well, I should say when I dock in London, because I'll be coming on the Queen Mary. I thought, wouldn't it be so cool if, I'm wearing a all black leather jacket, has the USA flag on the back, and of course my ponytail will be a lot longer, You can only see a piece of it right now in my photo. It'll have USA on the sleeves. And yes, I would definitely be known as the American getting off a British ocean liner. So that would be like unusual, because I'm sure the Queen of England is not going to let somebody who is a citizen of London wear the flag on their jacket from another country. So yes, I would purposely stick out with like a sore thumb. So it's like, yes, here comes the American dragon sphere has arrived in the mother dragon's world. Um, but chance of that happening, I don't know. Again, it would be quite the honor to meet Emilia in person, and I want to do something special for her. And it's not my intent that first thing right off the bat I get arrested. Like heaven forbid. But I want to show appreciation to her, for all that she has, well, in my opinion, done. She probably may think to herself, well, what have I really done? Well, yes, I'm still waiting for her to answer letters. She's probably busy and hasn't had a chance to answer those yet, or any fan mail for that matter. Um, I want to surprise her, because like how many Americans actually show up at her doorstep, and it's not like I'm any danger or any dangerous kind of guy. I mean, I'm an easygoing, carefree guy with a great personality and positive attitude. And, even if it's just to say thank you, Emilia, I want to surprise her with, because every great actress, in my opinion, always deserves roses. I mean, that's just like kind of well, it's like a historical rule of thumb. You have a great actress, they get roses or some kind of special flowers, And I thought it would be so wonderful to meet her for the first time, give her 12 long stem roses and a special gift, to thank her for such the impact that she made on my life. And if she would permit it, I would even like to um, prove to her that I'm not one after her money. I know what it's like to have people come after someone's income. Granted, I'm not a rich person, but that's why I've given up trying to find someone in America that I could maybe eventually have a relationship with, because even for what little bit I had, it would seem that I was always being taken advantage of, either for money, once in a while for other gratuities, which I won't go into. Again, my modesty is shown, but most of the time it was for money. And, I worked hard for what little bit I have. And it's like that's all I care about, and that's why men in America want Russian women for future wives. And they go to these Russian dating sites. Now, to me, it'd be kind of redundant to look for a Russian wife if I'm going to be living in London for 3 years. So I would probably want to find somebody that's a lot like Emilia. I have this big attraction to someone with dark eyes. I mean, it's like the fire that um, it warms the heart and soul, and it's like the desire of um, the dark eyes grabs one's heart. Um, I have like a lot of love to give, and I have been single a little too long now. And if I could find the right London lady, even if she is an actress or not, um, granted, I may not be no Matt Damon, I'm no famous movie star or something, but again, I have to look at it from the angle of like Emilia Clarke's profile. If you are seeking true love, and it's not my intention to give love advice to anybody really. Um, you you don't want to just marry into a marriage just to boost your career or to get more spotlight on you, because that's not true love. It's like taking a drug. It'll be good, maybe it'll be fun for that time, but then when, say, someone else comes along and you miss the opportunity that could be standing right before you, and you get up there in age and you're now laying on your deathbed, because everybody, as the old saying goes, you don't live forever, and you're going to look back and wonder, maybe I should have given this guy a chance and I made all the wrong choices. Boy, I wish I could go back in time and get that guy, because he probably would have really been something special in my life. you know, and so I want to make sure I don't make that same mistake either, you know. So, um, what I have to offer in my heart is more love than anyone could imagine, you know. I'm hoping I will find someone in London. Maybe I'll be surprised. Maybe I will get a movie star that will take notice of me, you know, because again, European women like American men. That's been proven even by veterans here in my country who served in the armed forces. That it's a proven fact. Being at London, Russian, don't matter what country in, there's something about, I guess, American men that women over there like, and they're a lot more proper, respectable. They don't ignore you or shun you. They don't just say, well, we don't judge somebody by their looks and age, and then just put it up there to make their profile look good. They actually mean what they say. I could expect an American woman to do that, but not someone from another country. Um, I have a lot of respect for Emilia. I think she is one of those proper ladies. Yes, she did mention that on a talk show, and I still laugh about this. It's like she wants to unleash the penis, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are you so serious? It's like, this is the kind of lady I really need to meet. You know, she's like so outspoken. It's like you know, um, if it was like you know a situation I got to meet somebody that's like 30, 31, dark eyebrows, dark eyes, acting abilities. You know, would not do to her what has been done to me. I could care less about one's wealth, fame, or spotlight. Because to me, why would I do to somebody else what was done to me? That wouldn't be right. That's not my reputation. And so I would want to take you know, Emilia out to dinner, show her my proper mannerisms, you know, like a proper gentleman will open the door um, to a restaurant or pull the chair out for her to sit down and push it in as she's sitting down. Another thing is that, you know, you want to know about her, make her be the one that gives most of the information. She can ask questions. It doesn't mean to be cold feet, you know, but it's the important thing is to let the woman that you're interested in do most of the talking because this way you know it's not like most common guys you hear about here in America. They do all the talking and well guess what, you're not going to go on a second date because she got bored to death. It's not about you, it's got to be about her. And if all went well then there would be some shopping on me, you know. I mean, if anything, I hopefully wouldn't be taking the line that would be hers, like, well, it's your money, you want to spend it on me, I have no problem with this, you know. So it'd be like she gets to be spoiled for the day by this American that comes into her country. And it would be something I'd look forward to. If the date went well, I'm not sure if she's into dancing or, you know, what type of dancing or anything. We could do that. Or cinema. But if the date went well, then I would ask her permission, possibly when she's free, for a second one. And this time, she not only gets spoiled, but I would ask her professional actress advice. Okay, I'm in your world now. Okay, I'm definitely green behind the ears, and I'm following in your footsteps. I have to get my MA degree, so I know I got to keep all my ducks in a row, as we would say here in America. So, if I was to allow you to change me, okay, what would you do, Emilia, to dress me up? I mean, you know what the in style clothing is. And so, how would you dress me up so that I step above the level I'm at now to where, you know, I may not be rich, but I could step up to like the middle class level? What style would be something that you would like to see a guy in? And then I would be paying for it. So it's like you're picking it out, I pay for it. And then in appreciation, I say, all right, thank you, Emilia. Now you pick out something that you would like to have, and then I pay for that as well. So that would be, you know, I mean, if it was any ordinary lady, young lady, regardless of whether she's an actress or not, that to her would be like probably the most special thing in the world because it's like, wow, you know, I don't have to spend anything, and this guy's going to spend his money on me. I feel so spoiled. But that's if she's in what I consider to be the normal mentality of thinking in that line. And so I don't know. It would be something that would be kind of fun, you know. Uh, she, of course, would probably have to drive me to the restaurant or the shopping area because I don't know London like she probably does, you know. So it's like, okay, you drive, I pay, or something to that effect, you know. Anyway, I would imagine I would also be quite the spectacle in the London College. You know, here I am, this American, and oh yeah, we got a live one here. I'm pretty sure some people might think we got this Yank here in the London College. What the bloody hell? So it would be like quite the thing, you know. I'm gonna probably not intentionally be like the center of attention, you know, because like, okay, there might be a few Americans there, but I guess I would be quite the character because of my carefree spirit, and I'm an easygoing guy. You know, I don't look for trouble. I'm not hostile or violent. Um, I'm not a pushover, but sometimes, and I will confess, there's times I get in trouble for thinking with the heart, but sometimes I had been told in my country that a lot of times thinking with the heart is not a bad thing because if the woman's very receptive, she's gonna see that, okay, this guy don't want me for my money or anything I have, and he wants my heart and he wants to give me his. Um, this guy might be something I want to check out, you know. But then again, you know, there's a lot of differences based on culture or the country you're in, how women think. And so I'm looking forward to these experiences. You know, it's going to be the most exciting thing. Just because I'm 47, does that mean I have to act my age? Not really. It doesn't mean I'm immature. But why should I act at my age when I might feel actually 10 years younger, you know? Because I'm stepping in a whole new world, a whole new frontier, acting, getting my movies put out, and getting the experience, and maybe even getting paid for doing commercials like she did before she got her first break in acting. This is all about following in her footsteps. For me, it's going to be quite the experience, and I'm like so looking forward to it. So we will now go on with episode 2. In the second episode, it again focuses back at King's Landing because now there is the question as to what to do about this Jon Snow, who is a walking dead man, as the way the king of the House of Lannis sees him, as people do their traditions and practices of burying the dead from the Dothraki before this mass force arrived to siege King's Landing, and others are getting counseling for what the Dothraki had done to them because of their savagery. Jon Snow is then confronted with the painful end of marriage. Does the marriage now having dissolved, he is then stripped of land and title and forced to acknowledge that the throne is free from any claim that he may have, even by marriage, even though the marriage was already dissolved, or in this case, um, uh, renounced because of any possible child that may have been born, depending on the alternate scene, which comes also based off of scene 8. At the same time, um, Tyrion reflects on a scene that as he sits alone in his quarters, where during episode 1, he is confronted as being the one at fault for not having given her good advice and not having seen what had befallen him. And through this scene of what he's thinking about, is stripped of being hand of the queen, because to her this is a great loss, and it is something that was not expected. As he gets done thinking about this, the scene goes back to him sitting, and he feels solemnly in despair somewhat, and counsels with one who he has always trusted, a type of priest, for wisdom and strength as to how his life should go on now, because he's not allowed to go back with her, as she blames him for this great tragedy. She has not said that she will never see him again, but he's to stay in King's Landing, and she does not want to see him. So he gets much advice as to how to pick up the pieces and move on with his life, and perhaps things will turn around for him. In the meantime, in Chapter 2, the stripping of land and title is then announced on Jon Snow, officially, by declaration. He is removed from the throne room, and as they make it official, again, if there be an alternate scene regarding a child, then they spare a child by making it a declaration of disowning a bastard born. Because again, how could she marry a man who should have remained dead and was risen by the woman in red? Though this sounds like an attack on the reputation of the woman in red, she says nothing. And it also seems to take into recollection for herself that perhaps she too had made a mistake by rising from the dead, not foreseeing that he would cast her out because of her religious practices. In any case, this scene continues as Chapter 4 comes up. He is escorted from the throne to obscurity. If there is a child, he takes the child with him, or if not, the spears are pointed in such a way as they march him through the streets in such an undignified manner that any movement he makes, he would be run through by many spears, both front, side, and back, until he is completely outside the city gates. Then others are there to greet him with spears, to make sure he tries nothing, and thus ends his reign as sitting at the right-hand side, following in Daenerys' stead by the marriage that was once took place. And so he rides off towards Winterfell, and from there, who knows where he will go. He has much to think about. He even stated long ago, when he was still at the Black Watch, that he was tired of wars, and he just wanted to live out the rest of his life in peace. Perhaps now is a good time to do this, because this was something he didn't see either. And what is done, though it cannot be undone, and should better head guards or protection during this great historical wedding, is too late to undo, and there is nothing that could be done now, for what is done is done. This would end episode 2. Well, this is a special announcement. I was on Facebook doing my postings as usual, checking my emails, going to gofundyu.com. I now have on tweets. Hopefully, Emily, I got some messages that I'm doing on um, the prequel, as I call it, which would actually have been ordinarily Series 9, except the HBO decided after Series 8 that would be it. And like the new relative of the House of Lannis, who was crowned king, who pretty much dethroned Daenerys, said that if she leaves voluntarily, she they won't have anything in the history books marked of this incident. So basically, that's why it's called the Lost Pages of Time. So as I'm posting all this, and I got to Facebook, I had this most interesting conversation. I'm not ready to reveal who she is, but I think I have found my very first agent. So she knows all about modeling. I mean, how lucky and fortunate am I? She's going to contact every magazine that Emilia Clarke had her photos put in. And while she's turning the heads of men, wow, look out, ladies. Dragonsphere is about to turn the heads of you. Now, can you imagine me being nude, no clothes on, with just a washcloth on over my unleashed penis? Oh my god. Yes, Emilia, you heard me correctly. I can be just as forward as you can. I'm from the American version and you're the London version. So, like I said, the male dragon is very receptive. How receptive is the female dragon? Might give her something to think about. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, I could take sexy photos too. I just haven't been unleashed yet. So this could be quite the interesting thing. And it's not because I'm trying to make myself look like some male stripper or X-rated movie star. That's not what I want to get into anyway. And I just wouldn't be into that. I don't mind doing nude scenes when it comes to it, because I ran the Naked Man run back in my 20s, and I was very modest then. I got the cat calls and the whistles because all the bystanders were women, and all I wore was my sunglasses and tennis shoes. And you had to run at one end of the drag race and run back. And I'm just got my hands on my hips, strutting my stuff. And oh my gosh, I'm getting hollered. Oh, baby, sweet you. And a lady represented a nudist colony. She goes, it takes a lot of courage to do what you just did. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, just 3 shades of red. Thinking, now my picture that's 3 shades of red, wearing my tennis shoes, nothing else. And my sunglasses. But because there was only 2 women and mostly guys, I didn't feel comfortable being between guys. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not homophobic or anything. That just was me. So I purposely chose to lose the race by running between the 2 women. And then we had to do this can dance as like a fun thing. And so arm in arm around these 2 women, and we're doing the can dance naked. It was quite the thing. So it's like, if I can do that, I can do a nude scene. I can even pose. Um, well, it's like Emilia said, I have a lot of respect for her because it's not about being totally nude. Yes, she has taken a few shots where, yes, I love the beautiful breasts that she shows off every so often, even though they might have like covered it up with like, censored type thing. It's okay. She's a very sexy young lady. I mean, I'm not going to be a coward and say no. Yes, Emilia, you are a sexy goddess, and I would worship the ground you walk on. But now it's like, what would you think if I was in the shot? And I'm sitting, well, you did the bed sheet scene with part of your butt cheek show. I thought that, like, oh my gosh, that was like so sexy. What if I was sitting on the edge of a bed with nothing but a washcloth covering, well, pulling 2 stones? That would make your mind wander, wouldn't it? I mean, any normal woman would. She'd be like, oh my gosh. So, anyway, this lady agent, like I said, possibly agent, I may be doing a contract with her, and she wants to help me get my name out there. We're going to do modeling, poses, and she's willing to travel to London as well. Um, it's not like we're going to have a relationship as per se. It'll be more like on a professional basis. And, that's because, you don't want to get in a situation where, yeah, models or actors are sleeping with their agents and their bodyguard. That just probably wouldn't be a good thing. And plus, it could be misunderstandings. Like that scene when Daenerys told this knight that's given her sexual gratification, he wants to marry, and she says, no, I can't do that, because she's meant to marry somebody that's worthy of her. Well, it's the same in real life. You just don't sleep with your bodyguards or your agents. So it'd be a very platonic professional relationship between me and this gal who, when the time is right, I'll reveal who she is. She'll be my first agent for modeling. The other one that I will have to get in London will be the one to represent me and my interest in getting my movies produced. Um, Finding people that, if I haven't gotten them done already, take my transcripts and put them into movie scripts. And then they go before producers, making all the necessary contacts while I'm getting my designed stage props and costumes that I designed myself done in London by this lady that I guess apparently a veteran here in my country said when he was on tour, when he was still in the service, that she does nothing but stage props. It's like how my mess is like a treasure trove of information. It's like, oh yes, I know where I'm going to be doing some things. That way I can present this. Visualization again is the key word, and realism. Um, so that when something's lined up, I can show them what we got. And, again, I'd be presenting that. The deal of the movie is, since I would be doing this for nothing except for the experience and expenses, which covers basic expenses, the attorney, my two agents, those are expenses. Now I'm not gaining anything from this except experience. Is I get to act in the movies. Well, not this one, of course. This is the prequel. I don't probably get but a small part at the very end at the 10th episode. So, because this is the gap between Series 8 of the Game of Thrones and the motion picture. So that's the deal. And if not, there'll be another producer who will take it, and then the first producer will probably be like disappointed because they should have grabbed it when they had a chance, because you're not having to pay me anything other than my expenses. I'm acting for free to get the experience. In turn, people are going to see this, and it's like, okay, if this guy's willing to work for nothing, he has potential here. He's got high confidence. He's a carefree guy. He's not dangerous. We could trust him to be in a room with movie stars, and he would do nothing to him. I mean, this guy's like just whatever, harmless. So that's what I'm looking for. So this is just an announcement. I'm going to have me a modeling agent. She seems to be very cool. I just met her for the first time, and oh my gosh, she wants to donate or loan me. Of course, our contract is I have to pay her back a large sum of money. I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody actually sees something in me. And so this is like so awesome. So just wanted to make this special announcement that Dragon's Fear is rising to the task. And now I have all this fire and desire to present to any lucky London lady that would be interested, as well as giving my gift of the skills to the people of UK. Look out, Dragon Sphere is on the way, and this is my gift to you. And I am so looking forward to being in the world of the Mother Dragons, um, to show what I can do. I have the potential. Now it's time for me to be unleashed.